Welcome to my channel. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks. We're going to get to the Michigan court hearings from yesterday in a moment. But before we do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified of my latest content. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment on this video, and stay to the end. I'll leave my little 2 cents commentary at the end. Let's roll.
Good afternoon to the committee. My name is Lori Levi from Canton, Michigan. I'm a registered voter, and I was at the TCF Center as a poll challenger. As you're going to hear multiple duplicate testimonies here, what I'm going to focus on is the thing that was most disturbing to me. I was under the impression that as a poll challenger, our primary responsibility is to make sure before a vote is cast that that ballot is either in the registered poll book, the computer book, or in the paper poll book, of which anytime as a challenger, I tried to look at the ballot and then try to verify it, I would get 2 or 3 of the poll workers literally screaming at me to get back 6 feet. However, we did not know that that had been overturned the night before, which would have been helpful. But at no time were we able actually to physically see the ballot and then see it in the poll electronic book. The person opening the ballot would probably be sitting where Senator Seiss is, and the electronic screen that we were supposed to be watching is basically to where the committee clerk is. Now, I don't know if you guys got binocular vision, but I don't. So I cannot look at a ballot over here, run down to this screen and be able to see it and verify that it is the same. I did address that with them multiple times, and they told me, sorry, I should have planned better. Some of them were in white envelopes. Some of them had multiple papers attached to them. So then they would manually enter them into the electronic book. And I wrote down as many as I could see as quickly as they were entering them, of which you have before you. Now this, in disclosure, due to my travel schedule, I did not see I was supposed to submit this in writing. So what you have before you is the same testimony that I submitted to Robert Steele.
You can submit at a later time. I mean, if you don't have it now, you can.
But basically, it is the same thing that I submitted, and I printed you a copy. So yesterday, my husband and I attempted to verify these addresses. Out of the 8 or 9 addresses here, we were only able to verify that there was one voter that actually lived at this address. And I can present to you one voter. I don't want to say their name, but you have it. This is their address that they show on their voter registration card. This is a church, of which it is illegal to register to vote anywhere but at your home address.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I was a poll challenger with the Nonpartisan Election Integrity Fund, both on Tuesday, November 3rd and Wednesday, November 4th. On Tuesday, I was a poll challenger for the city of Royal Oak, where only 10 ballots out of the 25,000 ballots were spoiled and not able to be matched to the QVF, qualified voter file. Royal Oak ran their absentee ballot counting board perfectly. The chain of custody was broken at the absentee counting board in Detroit. How? I watched as hundreds and thousands of ballots came in that poll workers were not able to verify in the QVF nor the paper logbook. Yet, that ballot was removed from the secrecy sleeve, bunched together with other verified ballots, counted and ran through the high-speed tabulators. I have a sworn affidavit of this and have attached it to my public statement. I was able to challenge only 2 of these ballots and get them entered into the electronic record. I attempted to challenge more, but the poll workers simply refused, verbally attacked me, and had others do the same. Since then, I volunteered with Guard the Vote. Over the last 3 weeks, Guard the Vote had over 1,000 volunteers painstakingly go through 30,000 of the 172,000 absentee votes in the city of Detroit and found the following results, which I've brought with me here. 229 of these 30,000 we went through are deceased. We have proof of this. Senator Lucido, you're asking for proof. 2,660 of them, invalid addresses described by vacant lots and burnt down houses. I have a genuine question. Can someone in this room tell me how a deceased person can vote? Nonetheless, at the very lowest levels, if these percentages carry through, this means that of the 172,000 AV votes in the city of Detroit, 1,300 of them could be deceased. We're investigating it. Another 15,000 could have fraudulent addresses described as living on vacant lots or burnt down houses. What I can say for sure, and swear to you here today, I can say that overall 8.9% of the 30,000 absentee ballots that we've gone through and investigated just in the city of Detroit were unqualified fraudulent ballots that should have been spoiled. And again, I have this printed out on the list. It's available for all of you. Why should this alarm you? Because this confirms that the city of Detroit poll workers were not properly performing a crucial step of verifying ballots in the qualified voter file, corrupting the whole chain of custody. And despite that, as I've sworn in my affidavit, and so have many others, those ballots were in fact counted and ran through the high-speed tabulators. We can prove there is fraud, which should disturb all of us. Isn't that the officials who are supposed to care and do something about this? They don't want to even listen to the fraud that we know exists. I would plead to everybody's sense of truth and justice to fair and honest elections. Are you listening? Will you even remember my name in 30 seconds? You know, say my name, Chris Schornack. Say my name, Chris Schornack.
So what you just heard were just two of the numerous testimonies from yesterday's Michigan election hearing. It went 7 hours long, but those two testimonies were in and of itself bombshell enough and also pertinent and a representative of all of the other evidence of fraud within the Michigan election. You heard one of the poll watchers, Mrs. Levi, state that she was barred from doing her job illegally because the pollsters there were keeping her so far away you would have needed binoculars to actually perform the job of verifying the ballots as the pollsters were opening them, reviewing and counting and verifying those ballots. And there was a court order the day before saying that they could not do that, but she didn't know, and so she was kept far away. But despite that, she somehow got her hands on a few ballots. One of the ballots that she got her hands on proved that the individual used a fake address, a church, which is an illegal ballot, and yet it was still counted and pushed through. That was some of the shady things that they were trying to get away with by keeping her several feet away. Again, you would have needed binoculars, but luckily she was tenacious and she got her hands on at least one of the illegal votes. That is in and of itself enough to cause a full-on audit of all of the votes taken in that county. Then you had another poll observer who was also sharing similar testimony to what Mrs. Levi shared in terms of his inability to actually watch and verify what they were doing, kept so far away, was harassed and verbally and to some extent physically attacked. So he couldn't actually verify in real time some of the fraud that was going on. But then after the fact, he got together with a committee or group to verify the votes in Detroit or Wayne County, Michigan, and other 172,000 votes that were cast in there. They were so far only able to audit or at least begin their own independent audit of 30,000 of those votes. Of those 30,000, over 229 of the ballots were of people who have long since been deceased. And then 2,660 of those votes were also using addresses, or not, let me not say also, 2,660 of the other ballots used fraudulent addresses of vacant lots and or burnt down buildings as the address. That makes up over, according to his numbers, 8.9%, or if you just round up 9% of the total ballots of the 30,000 sample size that they so far got of illegal or unqualified votes. If they continue to finish through the rest of the ballots and that number continues or that percentage remains consistent, you're still talking about anywhere from 15 to 16,000 illegal or unqualified votes that were pushed through as valid votes. And that's more than enough to flip an election. There is a clear reason why they were kept away from being able to actually verify in real time. Why at these poll places, why they were keeping them 10 to 20 feet away from the individuals actually counting the ballots, because they were trying to get a lot through, and they managed to get quite a few through. Well, will they do anything about it though? The evidence was put out there. The media was always trying to say there's no evidence of fraud. That has now since changed to, okay, well, there is fraud, because even Bill Barr has acknowledged, okay, we're getting complaints, and we verified so far that there is fraud. But he did say, and they're saying to this date so far, and this is the mainstream media's change in narrative, okay, you have some evidence of fraud, but not enough to change an election. Well, if you actually listen to the hearings, there is enough to change an election in these specific places. It doesn't have to be widespread, in meaning it's in every single state, every single county. You just need to flip a small number of counties to change the entire scenario. And right now, all Trump needs to do is really flip the illegal activities that have been occurring in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona, and it's game over, let alone Wisconsin and Georgia. But again, this is clear evidence from the Michigan hearing that there was fraud being committed, fraud found. Now it's a matter of, will they do anything about it? Because from the looks of it, and this is what happened in Arizona, despite the hearing and the bombshell reports that were displayed there and their call for a special session, the governor still said, I don't care, we're gonna certify the vote, let's just keep it moving. That's what they seem to want to do. And it does seem to be the likely scenario, but the people really need to start standing up, speaking out, because if they just get away with this and not do an actual audit of the votes, not recounting the illegal votes, because if you just do a recount, you're going to count, again, all of these illegal votes that they found and count them as real. You need to do an actual audit. Verify these addresses, verify these individuals. Do they really live there? Are these valid addresses? Are these people still even alive? You need to bring legitimacy to this election. Otherwise, you're going to have over 73 million Americans lose complete faith in the election. They're going to see the fraud take place, the media and all of these government officials complicit in it, seeing the evidence, deciding to do nothing. And yes, that includes Republicans like Doug Ducey of Arizona. I believe this whole thing is red pilling millions of people around the world, if not just in this country, to seeing what's really going on, how deep the swamp is, including within the GOP, who are going to have to answer for this or pay the price in the next either midterm election and or next general election when their term is up. All right, so that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you agree with how I'm presenting this information, don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified of my latest content. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks, and I'm out.